As I'm sure a lot of people are aware right now, there's a big controversy going around with Valve and Steam, and a recent payment processor related situation is how I'm going to call it. Now, one of the things people said was, oh, this is, this feminist group, going absolutely wild, totally overboard. They spammed this payment processor, situation into existence, and now Valve has a policy that they're removing content based on, adult guidelines that payment processors have. Now, I'm going to pull something up and I'm going to ask, well, if that's the case, what are we looking at? If this is truly what's happening, if, that was actually as described exactly what occurred, why is this live right now? Now this isn't a static image. This is the page. As you can see, I can scroll. So I'm not just, pulling up a static screenshot I took. This is the live Steam page as of today. I don't know where my phone is. I set it somewhere and it's gone, but I would hold it up and say, "Hey, look, here's the date and time." You know, absolute evidence that what's being claimed is not what's happening. So, what did happen? Clearly, Valve is letting games that are let's be clear. This is as adult only as it gets. So all the other games like Honey Pop are still around, and Senran Kagura is still around. All these very lewd franchises, and this one's just outright smut and nothing more. Let's be honest. There's no merit here. But what did happen? Well, as somebody who interacts with a lot of these smaller companies that produce let's call them low effort high reward games where they could flood it out there and it's just if they get 10 sales, they've made their money back. Like the $100 that it takes to get a game on Steam or once you factor in all the fees that Valve, likes to they take their cut, they only have to sell like 20, 30 copies. So they're making money, and that's what was one of the things where the platform was flooded with these low efforts, let's call them hentai games, because that's basically what they were trying to be. And then there were the Western kind of visual novel style ones where they were just really bad CG garbage. Um, so if this is what's still around, because this is a notable IP, it's from a big company. It's not some nobody who just made an RPG Maker or game. What happened to those other ones? Well, that's where what I believe is the grass is greener side of this situation with Valve updating their TOS around this. So let's pull something up here real quick, right? This is the page on SteamDB, and we'll scroll through it and I'll show some things of recent changes to game titles on Steam and DLCs and basically all store page related content from Steam. They poll it, they see like, hey, here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened. So, well, as we see, this is that recent just absolute destruction of stuff on the platform. I can't hover over any of this for a YouTube video because it will immediately show adult only content that cannot be posted on YouTube. So what are these? Well, these are those games that I was just mentioning, the low effort, high reward games, mostly RPG Maker. And what Valve did in what I would say the most perfect thing they could have done in the situation was say, okay, we'll comply. We'll throw you a bone. And instead of taking down the games that people care about, the ones that actually are made by real companies that aren't just Russian or Chinese scam companies that are trying to make as much money as possible, flooding the market with garbage, they they went after the low effort, high reward ones, which is why games like Turn Capacity 300%, despite being the same content, is still here, and these games are all gone. And as I can show, we can keep scrolling and see, oh hey, here's a list of stuff that just came back. We have some Dragon Ball Daima stuff that just got added for Z Kakarot, which is I'm shocked that game's still getting updates. But besides the point, we scroll down a little bit more and oh, there's more of it. Even more of them got removed. Okay, we scroll down a little bit more, some stuff got added. Okay, more stuff got removed. Whoa. I gotta remember to keep my mouse on the left side of the screen. Holy shit. That was risky. But yeah, we see some more stuff get added, and then, okay, one or two things got removed. Whatever, Oh, some other stuff got removed. Oh, some more stuff got removed. And it's, as we see, very, very obvious what Valve took the time to do. They did not remove things people give a shit about. They removed things from foreign companies. They're indie devs. They're like one or two man studios, putting massive air quotes on these words here, that are just pump and dumping this shit. They make it as fast as possible, they dump it onto the market, and they flood it for the last couple of years with this garbage. And it was ever since the way that Steam changed things. The Steam Greenlight program is no longer a thing, right? So it allowed people to just pay $100 to get their game on Steam. If the game takes 10 hours to make and it's 3 hours worth of content, whatever. And they made it an RPG maker. They reused some assets from the default library. Maybe they had somebody, hired to make some crappy hentai CGs, right? They can throw that up. Maybe it costs them $50, right? They're all in $150. Charge $10 for the game, $9.99. You only got to sell 15 copies, and you've you know made it back. Well, now you sell a couple more. You've got the fees out of the way for that 30% cut. You sell a couple more, it's profit. It's not hard. That's what they're doing. That's why Valve is not taking the knee and just letting garbage happen like people think. So use your eyes. Don't believe what you're seeing. Check. If somebody tells you something's happening, is it happening though? In this case, no. No, it's not. It's not what happened. Not at all. Valve's not just taking the knee and letting it happen. They're fighting back.